I get it. Us independents get frustrated with these consolidators. But there's good news. There's ways that we can come together. So if you're thinking about joining a group or a franchise to potentially get some more buying power, to maybe help you get some new DRP contracts or certifications, today's episode is for you because we're going to explore what 1Collision does. They're not a franchise, but they are franchise-like. So this is going to give you a little sneak peek behind the curtain so you can see if maybe something like this would be for you. Even if not with them, maybe it's going to open your mind to explore some other options. Who knows? Stay tuned for more on today's episode of Body Bangin'.
Welcome to Body Bangin', your podcast for all things body. Auto body, that is. And now, introducing Body Bangin's host, Mickey Woods of Mickey Woods Marketing. Mickey is a former Auto Collision Center owner and is now a marketing and business development expert to shops across the globe.
Well, hey, everybody. Thanks for tuning in again today to Body Bangin's podcast. I'm excited because today I have two special guests with me from 1Collision. We have Joel Adcock and Jim Keller. Jim Keller is the president and COO of 1Collision, and Joel Adcock is the director of business development. What does that mean? I don't know. Maybe he'll tell us. Combined, they both have a quadrillion years in the industry. Jim's been in the industry, has managed for 35 years, managed a small multiple shop, was a multiple shop runner, administrator, manager, has been part of CIC, has been a part of iCar. The list goes on and on. Joel's been in the industry for 10 plus years. These guys know their stuff, and I'm really excited to talk with them today. 1Collision, if you're not familiar with it, and I'm sure they'll expound on what I'm about to say, is franchise-like. It's not a franchise like a lot of us think of some of these other organizations that are out there, and it's not a consolidator, but it is much like a franchise, and they actually offer a lot of great opportunities for their shop. So you get some buying power with them. You potentially have access to relationships and contracts that you might not have had otherwise. And one thing that we're going to touch on today, which is so important, is metrics and data. So the shops, if you qualify and they accept you within their group, because they don't accept everybody, it gives you the opportunity to be able to compare your data and your metrics to other shops in the group and for them to help you dial these things in. So let's kick it on over to Joel and Jim, and you guys, I'll let you say hi and we can kind of get rolling with things.
Awesome. Well, thank you, Mickey, for having us, and we appreciate the opportunity to join you today and chat a little bit about 1Collision and the topic of du jour, which is the performance metrics, and it's something that I think it's very important and we'll chat about. But we 1Collision, we're focused on helping the independent shops and the small MLOs with a lot of things that, as you mentioned, they're having difficult times with. Maybe getting access to, or just need some corporate level support, as we like to say. And I had a really good conversation the other day with the executive director of an auto body association. I won't say which one or in what state, but he asked about 1Collision and, who are you guys? What do you do? Tell me a little more about you. I want to learn more about it. And we talked for about 10, 15 minutes, and his he paused and he said, it almost reminds him of the model like Ace Hardware used with the mom and pop type hardware stores, where it gave them an opportunity to get the buying power, have the corporate support, have the ability to still own and maintain their business and understand their niche and really understand how to, what to do in their local community to help them out, which was really kind of interesting that he mentioned that, because I really hadn't done a lot of research on it. And it actually does fit really well with what we do. And, we're, as you mentioned, we're franchise-like, but it's a different model. And then, we're highly focused on working with operators and shops that are fixing cars the right way. They do have a certain, business acumen about themselves, and they're invested in their business. It's very exciting.
It is very exciting. So, Jim, I'm going to pass the microphone over to you. I'd love to hear what you've got to say about all this.
Let's just talk about what some of those numbers are that we track, and then
Perfect.
from there, we'll talk about what we might do to help a shop to fix those.
Yes, perfect.
A lot of times it starts out with they don't know what they don't know. They don't know that there's a problem with their numbers because it goes back to not looking at them enough. They should be looked at a minimum daily, but a couple of times a day is not a bad idea. Most shop owners they're not numbers driven, so they don't do that. So again, in our model, we track what they're doing. We have an analyst who spends a lot of time in front of a computer every day, and she's very good at it. So, she'll look for trends. If things are fairly average and normal and acceptable to what our standards might be for above average performance, then okay. But if there's a couple that are way low or way high because of that number being high is not good, whatever that number is, then we can red flag those. And then again, she'll report. Her name is Joyce Schenke. She's been in the industry for decades as a trainer for some large corporations and franchises. And then she reaches out to Kelly Cooper, who's our director of fixed operations. And he actually, along with her, work with the shops to identify the specific thing that is causing that number to be out of whack. And,
Awesome.
Again, a lot of times shops go, well, insurance companies are tracking my numbers more than I am. And they're always telling me I got to fix this and I got to fix that. And, sometimes they're not 100% right, but many times they are right, that if that was fixed, not only would they be happier, but the shop would do better. And so it's like, it's really critical for shops to look at their numbers at least once a day, if not more. So if we take a look at what some of the key ones are,